saw us breaking before we ever fell apart. Smiles turning quiet in the dark. Every word felt sharp and out of place, like love was slipping without a trace. We kept pretending nothing changed while distance grew inside our names. Even silence started to speak of something fragile, something weak. Pride held on longer than I should to something that misunderstood. Your voice, even when I had no choice. Every corner holds a trace of all the time we could not face. Tried to gather what remained, but broken things do not stay the same. Even hope began to fade in the shadows we both made. Searching through the pain for something that would stay the same. Shattered light across the floor, pieces of what we were before. Every memory cut so deep through the promises we could not keep. All the warmth we used to know fades in ways we cannot show. Still I see you in the glow of a love we let go. Maybe we were never meant to survive what love demands. Maybe time just pulled the thread till nothing stayed within our hands. But the truth still lingers here in the silence left behind. Not every love is built to last. Some are lessons we must find. Shattered light across the floor, no more reaching for before. Every tear has found its way into words I cannot say. Though the past still calls my name, I am learning through the pain. Even broken hearts can grow from the things they let go. Light still falls through empty space, even when you leave a place. I watch the sky turn gray without a sound. The spaces between us heavy on the ground. Every speak is hanging here. A quiet weight I carry year after year. I trace the edges of what I left behind, hoping someday someone will read my mind. I breathe in slowly, holding what I can't say. Every thought unsent drifts softly away. The nights are long, but I'm learning to forgive even the parts of me that barely live. The echoes linger where your footsteps fade. I replay the moments and the choices made. The silence grows, but I'm finding my own voice. Learning to release what I didn't choose, my choice. I gather the fragments, let them rest. Even in absence, I do my best. I breathe in and slowly, holding what I can't say. Every thought unsent drifts softly away. The nights are long, but I'm learning to forgive even the parts of me that barely live. I don't need to hear it to understand. I find my strength in what slips through my hands. The quiet teaches me how to stay, even when the words decay. I breathe in slowly, holding what I can't say. Every thought unsent drifts softly away. The nights are long, but I'm learning to forgive even the parts of me that barely live. Soft echoes settle, tender and near. A fragile hope I finally hear. Soft breathy hums layered with rhythmic vocal pulses. Gentle acoustic picking, quiet echoes in the room. I found a photograph that broke me all over again. Corners bent, colors fading, whispers of where we've been. Every silence between us feels louder than a scream. Every shadow of your absence pierces every dream. my heart a fragile shell, learning to live where I once felt. I gather the fragments, let the light creep in, finding strength in all I've been. Even in the quiet, even in the storm, I feel myself growing, slowly transforming form. The pieces still breathing, refusing the end. Every scar tells a story I need to keep, my friend. Every tear I cry has roots that run deep. I learn to stand again, even when I weep. I don't need the past to define who I am. I gather the pieces and make my friend. The light creeps through the ruins of my pain, teaching me I can exist again. The pieces still breathing, alive and true. A map of my heart that reads me through. Every scar tells a story, every tear has weight. I'm still here, still breathing, finding my fate. Soft rhythmic hums linger within ordinary tone, a quiet strength I carry, finally my own. I didn't think I'd feel anything again. Days move past like shadows on a wall. Voices faded into distant noise. Even my own name felt small. Windows close against the world, silence louder than the pain. Every memory turned heavy, like a sky that would not rain. Somewhere deep beneath the numb, a quiet pulse refused to run. Light finds me in the darkest place. Through every crack I tried to hide, even when I lost my way, it stayed somewhere inside. Through the weight I could not see, through the nights I thought would stay, light finds me patiently, calling me back today. Photographs gaps I could not face, words I never got to say. Empty spaces at the table still remind me every day. Tried to bury every feeling under hours I could not keep, but the truth would rise like morning, even laughter, broken sleep. Something softer in the air, a fragile hope still waiting there. Light finds me in the darkest place, through every crack I tried to hide. Even when I lost my way, it stayed somewhere inside. Through the weight I could not see, through the nights I thought would stay, light finds me patiently, calling me back today. Every tear I tried to hold, every moment left unsaid, all the nights I felt alone still echo in my chest. But the dawn keeps showing up, even when I turn away. There is something in the quiet that refuses not to stay. Light finds me through the broken parts, through the fear I learned to know. Every step I take from here feels like learning how to grow. Through the silence and the grief, through the love I could not save, light finds me bathing through everything I gave. And for the first time in a while, I can feel it on my face. The door clicks softly, echoes in the hall. I hear the whispers of the times we recall. Shadows linger where your laughter used to stay. Every corner holds a memory that won't fade away. I trace the walls with hands that shake, holding on to fragments that I can't remake. I feel the silence pressing through the air, every heartbeat carried by a vacant stare. The past lingers quietly in the spaces we knew, teaching me to move, teaching me to lose. I walk the rooms where sunlight used to fall. Every picture frame seems to answer your call. The floorboards creak like a voice from before, reminding me of what I had and more. I gather the echoes, let them breathe. Even in absence, there's a way to grieve. I feel the silence pressing through the in the spaces we knew, teaching me to move, teaching me to lose. I don't need the shadows to hold me tight. I find my balance in the fading light. The rooms may remember, but I still stand, learning how to carry life in my hands. I feel the silence pressing through the air, every heartbeat carried by a vacant stare. Lingers quietly in the spaces we knew, teaching me to move, teaching me to lose. Soft echoes settle, gentle and true, a quiet strength guiding me through. I've been counting cracks on the ceiling tonight, tracing all the places where I lost my life. Every word I swallowed is still holding me down. Every step I stumble on this tired town. But there's a pulse beneath the quiet, soft and small, whisper telling me I might survive it all. At the healing point, I'm finally mine, letting the light seep through the lines. Every tear I cry paved the road to this, a quiet moment where I exist. I wore your shadow like a second skin. Thought if I stayed smaller, maybe you would win. But all your echoes faded when I spoke my name. Now I'm standing in the middle of my own damn frame. Yeah, there's a pulse beneath the quiet, soft and small, whisper growing louder. I can hear it call. At the healing point, I'm finally mine, letting the light seep through the lines. Every tear I cried paved the road to this, a quiet moment where I exist. breathe and I exist. I watched you fade across the city street, every heartbeat echoing in empty beats. The words we left unsaid are heavy in the air. I trace the spaces where you used to care. I held on to moments that slipped through my hands, learning how to stand in shifting sands. I breathe in slowly, feel the night unwind, letting go of shadows I thought were mine. Every tear I shed becomes a quiet flame, teaching me to carry on without your name. The rooms we shared are quiet and bare. I touch the echoes that linger there. Memories flicker like a fragile light, guiding me softly through the night. I gather the pieces through the night. Even in absence, there's a way to know. Breathing slowly, feel the night unwind, letting go of shadows I thought were mine. Every tear I shed becomes a quiet flame, teaching me to carry on without your name. I don't need the past to define my way. I find my balance in the break of day. The pain dissolves, leaving room to mend, a quiet strength I never thought I'd send. I breathe in slowly, feel the night unwind, letting go of shadows I thought were mine. Every tear I shed becomes a quiet flame, teaching me to carry on without your name. Soft echoes linger, gentle and clear, a fragile hope that draws me near. I hear your voice in the spaces of the night, a distant hum that Every memory lingers, then slips away. A quiet reminder of what we couldn't say. I trace the outlines of what used to be, searching for traces that are gone from me. The sound fades slowly, leaving me behind. Every heartbeat tangled in what I can't find. I let the shadows fall where light once grew, learning to breathe without you. The streets are empty, carrying whispers of before. I walk alone through the silence we wore. Every corner holds a ghost I can't touch. Yet in the stillness I feel so much. I gather the fragments, letting them rest. Even in absence, I do my best. The sound fades slowly, leaving me behind. Every heartbeat tangled in what I can't find. I let the shadows fall where light once grew, learning to breathe without you. I don't need the echoes to define my way. I find my strength in the break of day. The fading hums become a guide I trust, turning whispered remnants into something just. The sound fades slowly, leaving me behind. Every heartbeat tangled in what I can't find. I let the shadows fall where light once grew, learning to breathe without you. Soft echoes linger, fragile and true, a quiet strength guiding me through. I stopped expecting anything to feel like home again. Room stayed cold no matter where I went. Even laughter sounded far away, like it belonged to someone else's day. I learned to sit with empty space, made peace with silence on my own. Told myself this quiet life was safer than what I had known. And something soft and without warning, a flicker I could not ignore. Distant warmth returns to me through the cracks I left behind, like a fire I thought was gone, still alive in quiet lines. Every feeling I shut down starts to rise without a sound. In the dark I used to keep, something steady found its way back in. Hands that once I pulled away from now don't feel like threats at all. Even voices in the distance carry something soft and small. I don't rush the way I used to, I don't force what needs to grow. Turns out healing moves in circles, not a straight line I can know. Step feels unfamiliar, still I move a little more. Distant warmth returns to me through the cracks I left behind, like a fire I thought was gone, still alive in quiet lines. Every feeling I shut down starts to rise without a sound. In the dark I used to keep, something steady found its way back in. I was sure I'd lost the feeling that the world could still be kind. Built my walls out of the moments that refused to leave my mind. But the cold began to loosen without asking for a sign, and the part of me I buried started breathing back to life. Distant warmth returns again, not as loud as it once came, but it settles in my chest, and it doesn't feel the same. It's not fire, it's a glow, soft enough to let it stay. After everything I lost, something gentle found its way. I used to trace the pain like it defined me, counting every crack like it would stay. Every night replayed the same old story, like I had no other way. I wore the silence like a second skin, kept the truth buried underneath. Every wound felt sharp and earless, every breath was hard Something shifted in the quiet. A softer voice began to rise. Scars turn gentle over time, lose their grip, release their hold. What once burned beneath my skin now feels distant, faint and cold. Every mark I try to hide tells a story I survived. I am more than what I lost. I am still here, still alive. Old reflections used to break me. Every mirror held the past. Now I stand a little stronger, knowing nothing stays the same. I stopped running from the memories, stopped pretending they were gone. Turns out healing is a process. You keep living through the storm. Piece by piece, the weight gets lighter. Even wounds can change their shape. Scars turn gentle over time, lose their grip, release their hold. What once burned beneath my skin now feels distant, faint and cold. Every mark I try to hide tells a story I survived. I am more than what I lost. I am still here, still alive. There were nights I thought I'd break, thought the dark would never end. But the morning kept returning, like a quiet, faithful friend. Now the pain feels like a memory, not a place I have to stay. And the light I thought I lost was inside me all the way. Scars turn gentle over time, not erased but rearranged. Every tear I left behind help me grow, help me change. I don't need to be who I was. I can stand here unafraid. All the hurt I carried once now has slowly learned to fade. And for the first time I can see I am healing, finally. I watch the rain trace lines down the window pane. Every drop reminds me of the times I felt the same. The walls repeat the echoes of mistakes I made. I try to move, but the past keeps calling me to stay. I trace the cracks in my reflection, fragile and real, searching for something I can finally feel. The rhythm of my heart is shifting out of line. Every step I take breaks patterns left behind. I let the pieces fall, learning what I own, building something steady from the seeds I've sown. The streets are quiet, carrying my solitary voice. I feel the weight of choices, heavy but my own choice. Every shadow lingers, but I walk through the light. Even in confusion, I can hold on tight. I gather fragments, letting them collide, finding a new path where I can resign. The rhythm of my heart is shifting out of line. Every step I take breaks patterns left behind. I let the pieces fall, learning what I own, building something steady from the seeds I've sown. I don't need old cycles to define my way. I find my strength in the break of day. The broken lines become a guide I trust, turning dust and echoes into something just. The rhythm of my heart is shifting out of line. Every step I take breaks patterns left behind. I let the pieces fall, learning what I own, building something steady from the seeds I've sown. Soft echoes linger, hope in every tone, a fragile light guiding me home. He's a fool, structured version of quiet moonlight. Learn deep pop within track recalls, chorus bridge another white. Hate in moonlight, quiet moonlight. Intros and breathy whispers under pale moonlight. Gentle, the crisp picking, shadows shifting in the night. comes gently, carrying my fears, turning hidden moments into unseen tears. The silence teaches me how to be, to let the pain fall and still feel free. Under quiet moonlight I find my way, turning whispered echoes into day. Every fear I carry drifts into the night. I learn to breathe again in this soft light. I don't need answers, I don't need your voice. The moon guides me, I have my choice. Standing beneath the sky, letting shadows mend, finding the path that leads me to the end. Right under the moonlight I find my way, turning whispered echoes into day. Every fear I carry drifts into the night. I learn to breathe again in this soft light. Soft hums fade slowly, moonlight lingers near, a quiet glow that chases every fear.